Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Greater Germanic Reich. So while the world is getting crazier every day, I can say that we are in a better shape than we were at the very start. We managed to weather the bump in debt, we managed to increase the GDP, inflation is under control, our expenditures and deficit are under control, so things are not looking all that bad at this point. Even Albert Speer, our horse in this race, is becoming the most influential of the bunch, so I'm kind of looking forward to what the future will bring. Hopefully it's not gonna be a nightmare. We'll see. We'll see. Technologies are being researched, that is fine. We just finished the update to the agency. I can get used to the fact that they moved this. And do we want to go with something else rather than the passive defense? Because I think that... no, let's finish it, because I think that this is the most important one. Now... not able to slots. Other slots will be available after the 5th upgrade or after assigning a wizard. Okay, so hopefully this is the 4th one and then one more and we will get next agent. This is a cool effect though. Kudos, that's a really good one. I don't know what you guys think about the interface. I mean, it's requiring a bit of getting used to, I guess, but I don't know, it still feels a bit weird to me. Oh hey, we finished the rune. So let's assign it to the fleet here. And I'm not sure, do we have enough... oh, and just as that we finished upgrading our ships. So let's look at some more cruisers here. Or actually we got the F-class and the early corvettes here. That you could be upgraded. You're the old Zerstörers. 1944, and you could be actually upgraded in 1944. It's a bit weird. And what do you guys do? You have any Zerstörers? The 19. Okay, let's look at the Rostock frigate. Those are a bit more modern. What do you have? MBU anti-submarine rocket. Okay, so these are sub-hunters. So let's see if we can make them a bit more efficient at what they're doing. I should really start investing also into some old technologies. Wait, so what was it? The Leipzig class? No, that was... basic corvette, Leipzig, and then we got... wait, was it the Leipzig? No, it wasn't. Oh, it's this one. RV frigate, Rostock. Rostock class, right? Yeah, Rostock. Okay, I need to pay a bit more attention to the naming conventions here. So, Rostock class, what can you do? Leipzig. Is Rostock outdated? Let's see, I don't see. Wait, is it on the frigates? Alright, destroyers. Oh, here it is. It's a frigate. Oh, that was a corvette. Okay, gotcha. So, what do we have here? Is there anything that we could get that would be better? Anti-submarine warfare. They get the depth charge too, so there's no way to upgrade. The batteries, they also get the weight battery 257. Okay, so they're really modern. They even got the torpedo launchers. So you know what, let's investigate some of the battleships. We got 3 units of the Tula class. So those might be eligible for an upgrade. So Tula class, 13,000. What do you guys get? So you get 57mm. Fire control system is fine. Armor, secondaries. Okay, well, they're actually all very modern. Batteries. Okay, so there's nothing that we can do here. So what about the P-class cruisers? That seems to be fairly aged. P-class cruiser? Is it a light cruiser? Yeah, P-class. Oh yeah, P-class can be way too upgraded. So light piercing. Okay, let's give them more batteries. I don't think torpedoes are gonna help. More batteries. Rapid fire guns. So let's give them light cruiser batteries. And another light cruiser battery. And an anti-air here. Upgrade this one too. And these secondaries can also be upgraded. Mid to custom 5-inch. Oh, these ones could be also upgraded. Damn. Okay. Gotcha. So that is, what was it? P class. P class 1962A. They'll take a bit of time and they cost exactly the amount that we can get. So let's see, you guys can get upgraded. Do we have any more? We'll have to check. So wait, class 1962A. Okay, so you guys are gonna upgrade. And if we cast, no, we get M class here. What about you? F class, Rostock? Nope. Okay, so 3 of them are gonna get upgraded. That is fine. That is effective and pretty good. So event decision. Oh, okay. So they're getting all their legitimacy increased, but that doesn't matter. Okay, GDP is increasing. Deficit is dropping. Science expenses. We can lower that for a bit more in savings. Inflation though is quite high. It seems to be going up though. Yeah, it's deceptive. This is a really small difference. So how's the war going here? Between the territory of Yugra and Vorkuta Corrective Labor Camp. Nothing. Wait, did they sign peace? No, they didn't. Okay. And what about Turkey? Their war against Levant. No, they're holding their own. That's pretty cool. Who is leading them? Carlo Alberto della Chiesa, Governor del Levant. Turkey is really not at war with anyone, but these guys should probably get some help. Yeah, they send volunteers there. Okay, so Italy is actively helping. Governor Carlo Alberto della Chiesa is the man whose meteoric career left many stunned and many more envious. A decorated veteran of World War II, della Chiesa asked to be transferred from the Regio Esercito to the Carabinieri to follow the footsteps of his father, himself a general of the Carabinieri. After the end of the war, he was assigned to the newly acquired Italian territories in the Levant, where he demonstrated his skill and valor in the investigation and repression of the various terrorist and paramilitary groups that plagued the region. As arrest followed arrest, he quickly rose through the ranks of the Carabinieri and was noticed by Gavazzo Ciano. When it was time to assign a new governor to the Levant, the new duce, instead of choosing another old fascist, picked the young general as successor. The choice was controversial, as it was well known that the De la Chiesa has little sympathy for fascism, but in his yet short tenure, the Carabinieri general managed to bring a semblance of peace to the Levant, even if he had to use unorthodox methods. Rome expected results, and that is what De la Chiesa gave them. Extremist insurgent groups were targeted by repression, while a semblance of a truce was brokered among those who were willing to negotiate. However, the fate of the Levant still hangs in the balance. To De la Chiesa, it is clear Italian rule over the region isn't going to last, and some type of agreement between Italy and the many peoples of the Levant has to be found unless the area is to be thrown again into chaos. The Carabinieri governor has managed to return something resembling peace to the Levant. How long it will last, though, is still to be seen. And Italy pulled... Okay, no, they just sent them back. They're volunteers. But it's pretty cool. They're actually managing to hold the Turks off. Surprising to say the least. Surprising to say the least. Okay, anything here? Nope. Research is going, and we're starting to run out of fuel. So I have a feeling we might have to kill the training of at least one of the fleets. Because this is really not going to be going well for us. 228.59 billion in expenses. No, that's income, and expenses 241.73 billion. That's fine. That is fine. Yeah, debt to GDP is dropping. Actually, no, this is not the deficit. This is the debt. Ah, okay. So this is the income, and this is the debt. It doesn't show the expenses. But our expenses should be similar. Yeah, we have an income of revenue 39.44. Ah, wait. So what is this? Ah, okay. Last correction. This is the GDP, and this is the debt. Because our income is 39.34 billion, and expenses are 40.42 billion. Yeah, I thought that these numbers didn't make sense. Good on me for recognizing it before you guys made fun of me. Huh, that would have been the first. Okay, agency has been upgraded. Passive defense yet again. I think that's the last one, right? Yep. So... industrial espionage. No, let's go with the... No, that's actually expensive. Industrial espionage, wiretapping, agency infiltration, psychological warfare, diplomatic training, modern interrogation methods, special forces training. Let's do that one. Okay, we're gonna run out of fuel in 5 days, so I have a feeling we have to end the training now. Okay, you guys actually finished the training for many of the ships, so we'll just finish the rest when we have the time. And do we now get enough fuel? Daily gain some enough for... No, we don't, but that's fine. We have enough for 203 days. Approach the Americans. With the appointment of Herr Speer as the next Führer, a wave of optimistic fervor has swept across the international community, particularly within the government of the United States. Prior to the announcement, Speer took a seemingly pragmatic approach to foreign affairs, urging reconciliation and cooperation between the nation-states. Keeping true to his previous utopian vision, we will reach out to the Americans and prepare the way for a potential future détente. Okay, so we lost a bit of stability, but the United States like us more now. It increases the effectiveness of our trade wars, and the tensions have been dropped. Good, so promise a future. Okay, that would give us back the stability that we lost. We lose a bit of political power, but we get enough, and it increases effectiveness of the trinket to minimum wage. And it does not give us legitimacy though. Well, I mean, we can still get it. So promise a future. And the effectiveness of policies. So let's see. Forced labor. What was it that we just got? The trade restrictions. Heavy protectionism. Our trade laws base policy effectiveness is 82%. Modified to 73 due to navy size effects. Okay. 19%. So some of these policies are okay. So the green and yellow is where it should be, and the green is where it is. That's not great. ILP victory in Scottish elections. The Independent Labour Party has won the 1962 elections in Scotland, stunning the country. Regarded as the foil to the juggernaut known as the SNP, it seems they have come out on top to lead the country. William Wolff, the president-elect, was a former member of the SNP before leaving on his own terms after labour disputes occurring between the party. After years of serving as the opposition to the SNP, a big tent party in Scotland, it seems that they have finally won a remarkable victory worth celebrating. William Wolff has already pledged that the country, by all means, will stay independent, quelling rumours that the party served as the British Unionist front. A large portion of the party advocates for expanded welfare and fair treatment of the English minority. Can they hold the country together? Okay, the Turks are making first push. They took Tripoli. Well, we'll see. Okay, finished the improved anti-tank equipment, which is great, but now we are going to go with... Wait, it's the support. Here it is. Command and coordination, 1945, World War II military infrastructure. Actually, does that anti-tank have a description? Wait, what was it? Cobra missile, an improved shoulder-fired missile launcher, incorporating design improvements such as lighter materials and better sights, and high-explosive anti-tank heat warheads. So the original one was the Panzerschreck, we know that one. Now we get the Cobra missile. Next is Panzerfaust. How far does this go to 1988? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay, World War II military infrastructure. Outdated equipment in production. Oh, yes, we know. So... yeah, we got quite a lot of them in reserve. So not an issue. Events and decision. Timeout. I'm really not doing all that hot on fuel, to be quite honest. But hey, look at that, 105.6 debt to GDP ratio. We're dropping it really quickly. That is great. And we are 90% towards an upgrade in our credit rating. Dropping the debt interest is most likely going to put us over the, over the zero in deficit or very close to it, which is only going to speed up on the recovery. And this is why I like SPIA as the option, because you can actually do something for the country. The imaginary, horrifying slave labor based on, Jew exterminating country. Hey, look for opportunities is back. Expansion of slave camps. Slavery has been a fact of life in the Reich for well over a decade now. Slave labor dominates most labor-intensive sectors of our economy, and it represents a huge portion of our GDP. The institution is old enough to contain a new generation that only knows the walls and barbed wire of the labor camps. For a while now, the slave population has been slowly but steadily rising, and it is apparent that we now need more living space for the increased number of laborers. The camps are starting to overflow with people, and their living conditions are steadily declining. Although it is inconvenient, something should be done now. Living conditions aren't safe for the slaves, which will make it dangerous for the Germans that guard and employ them. The most simple option available to us is to build new labor camps, but there is also more creative approaches we can consider. So we can improve conditions and sanitation at the existing camps. Okay, that increases our debt, but increases Spear's legitimacy and increases forced labor policy effectiveness. Hand some of the slaves over to the here for laborers. Okay, Göring gets bonus. Begin construction of new facilities. That's Bormann's choice. And our men will take care of the situation discreetly. Hydrix. Jesus Christ, what a monster. Well then, let's increase their living conditions. That unfortunately increases our debt. But not by much. It turns out it doesn't even make a difference here. Okay, cool. I mean, why not? That is fine. And we finished the logistics company free, field hospital free as well. And so let's get the C2 C21 C2I actually. It's command to what's it called? Command control and intelligence. Developing technology centered around command control and intelligence will give our commanders more capabilities to shape the battlefield. And there's C3I, which is command control, communication and intelligence. C3I Plus is an improved version. C4I is not sure what the fourth one stands for. Yeah, I always forget that, but I think we have to do this one. So C2I. Attack helicopter company. Do we have... I wonder, what's the production yielding us? So we have attack helicopters. So getting an attack helicopter company does not seem like a bad idea. Increases breakthrough, hard attack, piercing, soft attack, supply use. Okay, let's get that one. Let's connect us a bit more of breathing room, maybe. Maybe not, who knows? I don't, do you? Okay, have we progressed? Nope, it's still September. No news about Hitler, to be quite honest. No news, I guess, are good news. So how's the war in Turkey going? Oh, between Turkey and Levant. And they're breaking through in places, but there is still a lot of resistance going. So finish the two other upgrades to the agencies. Yeah, Italy is helping Levant. I wish I could too. I wish the game would let me. So industry. It's still 1962, so I don't think we have any option here. We don't. Engineering. Enables improved radio. Defense and breakthrough. Okay, let's get this one. And can you get me a better signal company? Transport helicopters. Or scout helicopter company. Let's get the scout helicopter company. I actually don't know what that one will use, but it seems like a good one. And we finished the special forces training. Does that give us the next agent? It does. It's good to see that it's working somewhere. So, chance of our operatives of capture on operative detection. Okay, that seems like a good thing. What about the construction? Oh, we're doing good. Building a hospital, a prison and school in Bohemia. And we're gonna build a bunch more infrastructure. Yeah, the deficit is looking really good. Yeah, okay, now it increased because of the investment. But it's fine. Okay, our influence is still the best one. Okay, in 2 days, everyone else is gonna get a boost. severely ill. 3 dockyards once again. And we once again have a decent Navy experience. Okay, so what else can we upgrade to make our fleets better? Hey, you could actually upgrade to the B class, so let's send you there. It's not a bad choice. Kinda like it. And you guys are almost done with the training. Okay, promise a future. Unlike the opponents who seem to fervently cling to the decades-old triumphs of the Gross Germanisches Reich, Herr Speer urges we look towards the future, rather than continue to seek guidance from our previous exploits. He stands out as the only major political figure active in the current Reichspolitics that has a pragmatic outlook on the future. While our opponents may make extravagant claims of recapturing the magic of the 1930s and 40s, we will simply promise the Reich a future, and hopefully it will have a prosperous one, as the German people have suffered enough. So that lowered our political power, but increased stability and increases minimum wage effectiveness. So now calm down the Wehrmacht. Extra stability and increases minimal investment in army funding. Well, okay then. So that's gonna hit us a bit. Deficit is further dropping, debt to GDP is dropping, and we are very close. Yeah, we just need to get through October and our credit rating is gonna increase. Debt interest 1.72. So if that decreased by 0.2, how much would that be? 1% would be 2.4 billion and divided by 5. So that would be 0.5 billion nearly. Yeah, we should really get into a surplus. Not actually doing anything. So if that happens, I might start increasing the funding to science or social or something. I mean, I don't know what the pension funds do. Let's check that one out. Or unemployment funding. That probably stops poverty, wouldn't it? Where is the education, security, pensions? So low pensions, stability and need for consumer goods. Okay. And the unemployment subsidies? We get no subsidies. So how can that increase effectiveness? Need for consumer goods, stability. Oh, okay, because that is hurting stability from -10 to -7.5, so it's gonna increase it and thus lower the penalty for our stability. Gotcha. So has Burgundy finally done it? The Swiss Seismological Service has issued a press release with worrying news. Last night, their HQ in Zurich noted a seismological event somewhere in the Burgundian Jura? I don't know what that is. Is that like this, strata of the land? And it lasted 4 seconds and reached 4.6 on the Richter scale. Due to lack of aftershock, they concluded that this is not natural activity but likely a man-made incident. Several Swiss radiologists have also reported a spike in airborne radiation equivalent to a mild nuclear meltdown, or an atomic air blast. Governments worldwide have arrived at one conclusion. The Burgundians have successfully tested a nuclear device, twice as strong as the one dropped on Pearl Harbor in 1945. With the shadow state remaining tight-lipped as ever, the news will likely never be confirmed. Still, it seems that 1962 will be remembered as a dark point in history, the year Burgundy ascended to the ranks of the nuclear powers. The world awaits with bated breath. Trouble in Paradise. Walter Hoover was trapped aboard a sinking ship, and he knew it. As he stared blankly out of the window of his office, the Reich's foreign minister couldn't help but contemplate on the state of his beloved fatherland, and how things seemed to fall apart quicker by the day. Hugo hated the fact that he was aware of this and yet continued to do nothing about it. The Reich required action now more than ever. And what was Walter Hugo doing? A knock on his door jolted Hugo out of the quagmire of self-pity. "It's unlocked. Come in." His secretary entered the office as Hugo returned to his desk and placed a single paper before him. A telegram from Madagascar. What? Madagascar? It's urgent. Madagascar, Hugo mused with audible disinterest as he began to inspect the message. No doubt another request for supplies, he thought. As his eyes worked their way down the telegram, however, his apathy quickly turned into a muted panic. Erhard Milch, the commander of the Wolf garrison, laid out in detail a plot by the Reichskommissar Maurice to betray the Reich. The minister couldn't say he was entirely surprised, given Maurice's blood, but to stab the fatherland in the back so brazenly in time like this, the man must have completely lost his mind. Send a reply to Milch, if you would. Tell him we'll send troops and supplies, but we can't spare anything else until the situation at home stabilizes. The secretary left with a nod, leaving Hugo alone with his thoughts once again. The last part of his reply was a lie, of course. The situation at home was going to get worse before it got better, and the foreign minister was not sure what this would mean for Madagascar, or any of the Reich's other distant conquests for that matter. So what's going on in Madagascar? Reichskommissariat Madagascar. Emma Maurice. On one particular morning, a crowd of protesters surrounded the offices of Reichskommissar Emma Maurice, demanding basic welfare and at least some respect for human rights. In most other Reichskommissariats, these protests would be answered by a volley of open fire, and then a swift cleanup and denial of the activity against the Staffe whatsoever. But when Maurice woke up and heard the rhythmic shouts of dissent, his only action was a meek request for the curtains to be closed. The fulmination soon dispersed after the building lay completely still. Once the chauffeur and a personal favorite of Adolf Hitler, the inescapable crippling apathy in Maurice seems to have begun to manifest after leaving the Reich in the 50s to oversee Madagascar, an appointment by the Führer amid accusations of clear non-Aryan elements in his racial heritage from the SS. Given the choice between an investigation into those elements or exile, he chose the latter. Since arrival to Tomasina, Maurice has shown little, if any, care for the internal affairs of the colony, foregoing meeting and ignoring the screams of those who would have his head all across the island. He has sent police to return to the only country he ever loved countless of times, all of which have been ignored. Man, that's a bad man in a bad place that cares not. The outlook has only grown more nihilistic for Maurice as organized resistance strengthens the native Malaxi militias establish footholds in the Central Highlands, all while the militarists continue to estrange themselves with the administration. It is clear to those still loyal that the armed conflict looms near, and yet all he can show is indifference. All he dreams is for exile. He may have helped create this enormous house, but all he desires is to escape it, to be delivered from evil. So we can request divisions from them, but we can't really do anything for them. But maybe there will be something happening. And let's... Okay, I'll take Sophia Keller because she has a counterintelligence bonus, which should free up our agent to actually do something. Wolf, I will just send you. Damn, Vorkota is losing, that's not great. And so is the Governator de Levant. Oh, I can't even build anything here then. I was thinking about Argentina or... Oh, they have a capital in Ushuaia, what the hell? That's so weird. There has to be a reason for that. Any place where I would like to send it? Actually, Japan makes a lot of sense. So we'll send it to Tokyo. Or send our agent to Tokyo. Because, you know, if they really try to assassinate the Führer, they have to pay. So deficit is staying good. Inflation has dropped significantly again. That's good. Debt to GDP is as low as it ever was during the playthrough, and that's good. We're only going to improve on it. Okay, 27th of October. It's just going well. And we have the same legitimacy as Martin Bormann. We really need to get ahead of him. So this is going to increase our legitimacy by 5. And if we get more of those opportunities, we can use those to get ahead. Hopefully. Passive defense plus 5. Gone over minus 2. What's it gone over? Like the unstoppable wave guided by the righteous destiny of the Aryans, the Wehrmacht stormed over Europe and in the Second World War. The low-level subjugated the Germans elevated and the Reich's rightful territories conquered. For a while it seemed as though nothing could stop the German god of war. Rot soon infested the Wehrmacht where once glory reigned. If it wasn't for the few bright minds left, the Reich would have collapsed in the West Russian War. With mad bombing runs and boundless conscription, it desperately clings to relevance, but there is no way around it. The god of war has gone over to the other side. Okay. A trip to the tea house. Any other man would have admired the beautiful scenery that surrounded them. Any other man would have breathed in the fresh air with deep satisfaction while surveying the rolling green hills. Any other man would have listened intently to the melodies of nature, from the chirping of the birds to the buzzing of the grasshoppers. Not Dr. Karl Brandt. He was watching the Führer like a hawk, ready to leap forward in an instant. Despite his deteriorating condition, Hitler had gently asked Brandt if he could maintain his old ritual of strolling to the tea house on the Münzlanerkopf hill. Johannes Schwab had soon caught wind of this, and, despite Brandt's numerous protestation, forced him to adhere to the Führer's orders. That smock sycophant was striding alongside them, inhaling deeply as he basked in the sunlight. Imagining that idiot tripping over and smashing his face upon a rock gave Brandt some modicum of relief. Hitler suddenly halted in his track, panting heavily. Brandt dived forward just in time to catch the old man by the shoulders as he collapsed backwards like a puppet without strings. His face was pale and covered in sweat, and his breathing was raspier than usual. Brandt gently lowered him to the ground and turned him to his side, tearing off his own jacket to place under the Führer's head in anticipation of a seizure. As he suspected, Hitler's body soon began to jerk uncontrollably. "Don't just stand there!" Brandt shouted at Schwab, who was staring at the two of them in distress. "Get Kempka, now!" Schwab nodded and raced back the way he had came. After a few minutes the seizure stopped. Hitler was breathing raggedly, clutching at the dirt beneath his hand. His eyes were filled with tears. At last the car arrived. Erich Kempka leapt out of the driver's seat and thrust open the back door. Brandt slowly helped Hitler to his feet and guided him towards the vehicle. "Place the Führer under a 24-hour medical watch. Now!" Minus 10 stability, Hitler's conditions worsens. Damn. What a way to end the episode. So let's just stop here on the 1st of November. Our GDP debt has dropped even further. We are doing good. All of this is kinda good, but our stability is now at 19%. And yeah, it looks like it's an exponential drop because all of our stats are lowered a bit more than they were at minus 40. That was at 40. That was something like minus 1.1. Now it's at minus 3. So not exactly great. But what can we do? Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Now see you in the next episode. November is going to be rough because Adolf Hitler is currently critical. That's great. Anyway, see you in the next episode.